Welcome back to Task Force Podcast, an Airsoft podcast made by the Airsofters for the Airsofters.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode Task Force Podcast. I am your host, Snake, joined by my co-host,
Nasty,
who
always
most likely, like 100%, I mean, he's awkward, but most likely 100% has COVID. But it's fine. We'll enjoy this together. Like everything.
Everything. Might as well.
Today, we are joined by our very special guest, GUNFATHER MILSIM.
Hello.
Dude. So you reached out to us, you hit us up, you're like, yo, I'd love to be on the show. And we were like, dope, that's what this is about. So I'm glad that you found us. Sound like mutual friend Caber was like, hey, you should check it out. Yeah,
Shout out Caber.
Caber's a homie, man. He's like, yo, you should reach out to these guys, or hey, these guys should reach out to you.
Right.
Caber's a badass.
Caber, that guy.
Unfortunately, but yes.
Yes. So tell us about
it was
yourself,
actually, well, let's see. I've been playing Airsoft since late 2007.
Wow.
Yeah. And my background's in law enforcement. I've been a police officer since 2001 in a major metropolitan area that I can't mention because our social media policy is pretty strict, but whatever. Became a member of the SWAT team in 2009. I've been on SWAT ever since. I'm still an active member of the team. I've been a sniper since 2015. I'm currently an instructor at the academy. I've been a CQB instructor for several years, a SWAT instructor, blah, blah, blah. But throughout all that and all the real world shit, I've maintained a passion for Airsoft because it's just a hell of a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
And years ago, I started kind of making videos. Honestly, I started doing them because we had this CQB place in town that has long since closed. And just like everybody, you wanted to kind of like do like the I'm fucking cool CQB video.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because you think I'm going to put out this awesome content and everybody's going to spread like wildfire and everybody's going to, see how amazing I am. Right. And so I'm making these videos and it's a ton of work and a ton of editing. And honestly, they're just not, they're shit. They're still on there. They're still on my channel. They're at the very bottom. They're old. And it's just like, I'm in the video. It's like me doing it and I'm watching it and I'm like, this is so boring. This is fucking horrible. They're cringy as hell. And then one day I made a video about, like, there was a day where there was just me and my partner and another guy at the CQB place. It was 2-on-2. And the way the game played out, it ended up kind of being like, oh, I can make this into a tutorial video. Two-man, Airsoft CQB tactics. And that video kind of took off a little bit, got some traction. I'm like, maybe I should start making some sort of tutorial videos about, with my background, how to do shit.
Right.
So then I started doing, how to use radios, how to use cover, CQB, woodland tactics, blah, 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 blah. Pick your poison. And it was a grind. I mean, it still is a grind. Building a YouTube channel and a YouTube following is an absolute grind.
Yeah.
And if you don't respect it, like, you can't blow it off for 2 months.
Right.
And I did that all the time my first 3 years. And 0 to 500 was the real kind of crucible.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've found it's been pretty steady. And I think I'm north of 4,000 now, which in the grand scheme of YouTube is fuck all. It's absolute fuck all. I always say that, if I had some hot chick and I just wrote the script and she read it, I'd probably have 150,000 followers overnight.
Guaranteed.
Dude, yeah, no doubt on that. I mean, that's just
everybody booby chasing these days, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like if you have an attractive, really, honestly, in this day and age,
at this point, you could be a male, female, and you'll get fucking.
I was gonna say, at this day and age, if you're just an attractive dude and you are on the camera, it's all that matters. Like, people are gonna
definitely
follow
not
you.
me.
You don't give a fuck about the content, but no, we're with you. I mean, right now we're in that 0 to 500, and it's you have to be consistent. And that's the one thing that like I hear a lot of from other guys is like, yo, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm like, dude, it really is just consistency. It's posting on Instagram every day,
no matter what platform
once a day,
you use.
right? Or it's posting your video on YouTube at least once a week, you know, whatever it is.
Right. So putting out amazing content once a month is not nearly as good as mediocre content every week.
Right.
Welcome to the show, dude. Like, welcome to the show.
And I'm kind of I'm my own worst critic and kind of a little bit of a perfectionist. And there's so many videos I've completed, made, and it's just not released because at the end of the day, I was like, I'm just not happy with it. You know,
Right.
Scrap it all. And in retrospect, that probably wasn't the best decision.
Right.
But a lot of it's like a little stuff, like getting better cameras and getting lighting and getting better sound and all this little crap. Working on your editing, making something that looks good,
right,
and or looks better. I'm still a long way from, technology is kind of my Achilles heel throughout all this, but
well, I mean, you kind of hit it right. Is like I would say 90% of a video is audio. If you have decent audio, generally you're gonna retain people actually a lot better, because 9 times out of 10 somebody's willing to deal with a blotchy video because they just think their phone, which is most of the time where we're watching our stuff, right? They think their phone has just got bad signal and or whatever. But realistically, if you're at 720p recording something on YouTube at 60 frames a second or even higher, honestly, for Airsoft, it's fine. It really is fine.
As long as I can understand what's going on, I don't give a fuck how clear it is.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like even when Swerve streams, I finally caught one like however long ago.
Right.
Blurry as shit, but you know what I got the whole time is what you said.
Right.
Perfect audio.
Exactly.
Didn't need to really even see it.
Exactly. So you can kind of keep up with it.
Right.
But really, phones these days are recording at 4K.
Yeah.
And
So
well,
you
see,
can
the
use your
technology is like my weak spot. I don't even know how shit it is until I get something better. Like somebody be like, hey, why don't you try this?
Right.
And I'll get like a better microphone and compare the two, and I'm like, oh wow, that was garbage.
right.
Right. that's been shit for 4 years. Wow, I wish someone would told me that.
Yeah.
So
dude.
most of the airsoft content out there on YouTube is horrible.
Right.
I agree.
It's unboxing videos. I can't stand them. Really shitty gun reviews.
Yep.
So some of the tech stuff is obviously, I wouldn't say it was shitty, but
Right.
there's not a lot of informative stuff on YouTube about airsoft. It's just kind of like, hey, look at me shit.
Right.
And I wanted to make a channel that was about the content, about tactics, about strategy, about, hey, this is, I do this, and I hate saying I do this shit for real, because that's
Right.
that's not.
Well, yeah, but
correct.
it's different.
It's
right.
totally different. It is
Right.
absolutely totally different, because in airsoft you can get away with so much bullshit because you're having fun and you can just walk to respawn.
Right.
So that you can take a lot of risks.
Right.
Real world, that shit obviously doesn't happen because the bullets
Right.
are real and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, well, the overwhelming fear of death is that
the real life aspect, like
yeah, always at the back of your mind, it's all well and good until somebody bucks around and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But a lot of it does transfer over, like the use of cover and angles and a lot of the tactics, they all cross over, and I like teaching that.
Right.
And a lot of it, like airsoft snipers. I enjoy sniping in airsoft, I really do.
Right.
But it has almost nothing to do with real world ballistics, and I mean
Right.
nothing.
Right.
And when I hear airsoft snipers talk about, oh, my drop and oh, my dope and oh, this, and I'm like, you're so full of shit, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't.
If you can pick
the
your
two things
head
are
up,
entirely different.
right? If you can pick your head up above the scope and watch your BB fly, you don't even really need a scope at this time. So, the fuck are you talking about?
But at the same
Dope,
time, it's all just how those people are putting themselves there,
right?
Right.
For
But at the
them,
same
it's-
time, he's not wrong though. It's like, man, look at my badass mod 2 and 4. You're like, it's an airsoft gun, dude.
Right.
Now
Right.
calm down. Your Block
but
2 ain't gonna save the world.
On the other side of things, I have like, because in the real steel world, right, there's like this kind of towards airsoft. They just don't like airsoft. You know, there's, I mean, I'm talking a brick wall.
Right.
You even bring it up and you watch them shut down. Like, oh, you don't do that, do you?
Right.
You know, it's taken many, many years to drag some of the guys in my real world team over to the point where it's just like acceptance, not promotion. And they're not willing to dip a toe in the pool yet, but they're like, okay, they accept it. Okay, he's still okay. He's still an okay guy, even though he does this on the side. We can, you know, we don't have to
he's
shun
doing
him.
drugs, guys. Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's I don't think a lot of the airsoft community realizes how wide that gap is between those two worlds. And I'm trying to cross it a little bit. And, you know, I get friction from the real world side, like all the time. Holy shit. And they're like, well, you know, I'll bring one of my airsoft guns to work because we're doing scenarios or something, and it's not quite up. We're not doing sims that day, but they want some projectiles going downrange, whatever. So I'll bring like an M4, and they'll check out my airsoft and like, oh, this thing's amazing. And I'm like, well, no, actually, in the grand scheme of airsoft guns, it's good, but not amazing.
Right.
It costs about $500 all in. And they're like, why would you spend $500 on an airsoft gun? And I'm like, well, because I get to shoot people with it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I have a gun safe full of, you know, $1,000 precision rifles that collect dust in the safe. Right. And every once in a while I'll shoot a piece of steel at 800 yards, and that's cool. I might do that twice a year, and then it goes back in the safe.
Right. Right.
And it's
so what's going to give you your
thousands
fix?
of dollars.
What's going to give you your fix, man?
Yeah,
and we all love shooting people. Don't tell me you fucks think it's not, okay?
Right. And like also what's going to allow you to train with a platform that's so like, I mean, it's a 1-to-1 realistically.
Almost
it's a
1-to-1,
1-to-1 pretty much.
Right.
So you can actually take this every weekend and go and get training with the same weapon platform. And all the weapon manipulation carries over. That's the one thing that I feel like Real Steel doesn't quite get. If you're talking like gas blowbacks, you can get all the manipulation to carry over pretty much.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of on the player to be mindful of it and take it as far as they want to. And airsoft's obviously on a spectrum,
right,
as far as training or not. And I've done some videos on it. On a good day, a solid airsoft game is better training than I get in a organized, you know, SWAT training with simunitions and scenarios. Right. A good day of airsoft is superior to that, absolutely, because you get more reps.
Right.
You know, when we're training as a team, we'll do a scenario. Let's say we're doing a hostage rescue, and there's 2 bad guys and 3 innocents, and here's a team of 12, and you're going to go in there and you rescue the hostage. And you go in there and you do your thing, you rescue the hostage and shoot a bunch of sims and throw some flashbangs, and it's all well and good. And maybe only 2 guys actually get to shoot, and the other there, it's dumb luck. And then we sit and we debrief it for like 20 minutes.
Right.
And that's important, but it's also kind of boring.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're pissing away a lot of your training time, you know, talking, and so everybody can learn from everybody's mistakes. And airsoft doesn't bother with that.
No.
You just go back to respawn, and the getting shot is the lesson.
Right.
You quit till you're dead in hell. So that's kind of, you don't want to train your mind to do that real world, that
right.
I'm hit, I guess I'm
fair.
dead. Where
that's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a tough one. The other one is like with your AEG, hitting, whenever I do a reload with my M4, I always, you know, hit my bolt catch.
Right.
Well, why? It's pointless in airsoft. But if I don't do it, I might not do it in the real world. So I want to reinforce good reps.
That's the one time you'll need to do it.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? Is like I feel like just like with any training, it doesn't really matter what you're training in. There's such a thing as good training and bad training, and just like you're talking about, like, you can build bad muscle memory just as well as you can build good muscle memory. So I would think you would have to go into, like you're saying, with the mindset 100% that, hey, this is going to be a training tool for me, and that's the way I'm going to
and
approach
every
it and
round
use it.
is real world. If I get shot,
right,
you know, you can go as far as staying out of the whole rest of the game.
Right.
But you know, there's some days where I'm just not in the mood for that.
Yeah.
And I just want to have fun. And it just wants to be, you know, we're a bunch of grown ass men playing tag with BBs, you know, and that's good. Some days that's good too. I'm just like, you know, I'm not in the mood to take myself that seriously today.
Right.
Let's just fucking have
You
a good
need
time.
that release though. And that's why airsoft is good, especially for the real world guys like him.
Right. Right.
Who can come out and release that whole week of some fucked up shit.
Right.
You know?
Right. So this actually poses a really good question then. So what actually got you into airsoft, considering you do all the real world stuff?
I was actually looking for a training option for something that was cheaper than simunitions, more readily available, that we could use as training in law enforcement.
Right.
And I looked into it, and I remember the first thing I got was these cheap LP Glock pistols, but they were a lot of fun, but they were, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And and we did some CQB training. We did some, because we were, law enforcement. We used Glocks. We wanted to use a Glock and wanted it to fit in our holsters and blah blah blah. And it turned out it just wasn't really viable. It just wasn't hitting on all the levels, checking all the boxes. But it was a hell of a lot of fun. And then I remember the first time I got like an MP5, I got an ICS MP5. That was my first long gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit,
that's
this is cool. And then it was like ICS M4s and AKs, and you know how it is.
He knows.
Once it bites you.
Yeah. ICS was my first real good gun too, and I was
Shout out Jake. You're welcome for the sling, even though it was your man's who gave it to you.
I love ICS.
Yeah, so. Dude, they threw me off like it was like
what?
It was just a different world when you got into actually having a gun that did something worth a fuck. Like it took your mind from like, this is fun to
holy shit.
This is awesome. Is fucking crazy.
So did you dive deep into the modding them world?
Yeah, well, ICS made it easy because they have the split gearbox, right? So it's easier to mod that when it's in two pieces.
Man of culture.
Well, back in the day, they didn't have the quick release springs, the quick change springs.
Right.
So, I mean, trying to learn how to tech a version 2 or version 3 gearbox was a fucking nightmare, because that damn spring tension when you're trying to put the thing back together,
all the gears fly out, you're like, fuck,
I
don't even know how this shit goes.
Right.
Wow, exactly, dude.
Look
and
at
then
this.
That's what happened to me, right? I had a version 2 and it just fucking flew apart. And so I was scared to death. And then when I got my ICS, I opened it up and realized, wait a second, there's 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Right.
And suddenly I gave no fucks. 100% was like, I'll take apart the upper, never have to touch the gears, and the thing will work just fine. Perfect.
ICS is a good baby step into teching.
Yeah, 100%.
But now everything has a quick change, spring, which has just, now it's simple. Now everything's easy. Anybody can do it. I still recommend you take photos.
Yeah.
Just like you take that shell apart, take yourself some photos.
But
I tech my own guns. I'm not a huge tech. I'm not like super hardcore about it. But I do tech all my own stuff. I don't tech other people's stuff because, I have better things to do. But
I like not breaking my own shit.
Yeah.
Because I've
when it came
5 years later
to teching, like I've always been very hard up on like,
thanks, Jake Vaughn.
I can fix something, but realistically, like I don't want to fix your shit.
I will happily pay some dude to fix my shit.
I don't want to fix your stuff specifically because this will be the one time I fuck something up.
Right. And when it goes well, when like you're teching something, this is broken, you pull it out, you replace it with something better, clean everything up, goes up together smooth, and it works perfectly. It's great. It's a great time. It's relaxing.
Yeah.
But then there's those other times, where you go in to fix one thing and break 2 other things, and you got to wait 3 weeks for parts and blah, blah, blah. And it's fucking nightmare.
Especially nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
Where like, unless a local or an in-state shop has it, you just ain't getting it.
Right.
And I don't think you're a real tech until you've had you've just had it out on your workbench. You just bring the trash can over and just done. Right. It's just like, I'm done. Like this.
I agree with this.
What's a new one cost? $150? Fuck it.
Easy.
Yeah, dude. Go ahead.
No, so I'm imagining, since you're in both worlds, like, do you run your real world gear setup the same in airsoft, or do you try to keep that split different?
No, I keep it very similar.
Okay.
So like my primary reload is like right here, right? On my vest right up front, and I run 3 mags. Real world, I only run 2 mags, but It just is what it is.
Right.
This third one's a medic kit.
Right.
So whatever, little stuff like that. Radios in the same spot. Yeah, primary reloads in the same spot. Pistol reloads in the same spot.
So you're really not kidding. Like if I'm gonna go play airsoft, I'm gonna keep this muscle memory going no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my holsters are the same. That's all set up the same. My battle belt's set up the same. So yeah, quite a bit. But I don't like wear a helmet. Like real world, I have what the fuck we use? Team Windy is the helmet we use right now. And it's a great helmet.
Yeah.
But then why would I wear that? Because it's a pain in the ass in airsoft. Right. Why would I wear the helmet? And I know guys like their helmets, and it's cool. I get it. I totally get it. I wear a ball cap.
Right.
Yep, I am not a helmet guy.
That's my problem. Is like I'm over here like, bro, the helmet is drippy. It's so drippy. But then every time I get out on the field, I'm like, after a while, I'm like, fuck, dude, wearing this thing's fucking killing me.
Wow,
I'm just gonna put my ball cap
40
back on.
hour MILSIM, and I'm 20 hours in wearing this fucker. Nah, dude.
Comfort's king. Comfort's king. And but like the headsets, like I just wear an earpiece and a hand mic. That's all I use for comms and airsoft.
Right.
Real world, I got a headset with a boom mic, and it's got noise cancellation for the flashbangs and all this other cool whiz bang shit. And it's got noise amplification for all the little stuff, but only in front of you.
Right.
But it's cool. But even when I wear that shit for 10 hours, it gets old.
You're like, fuck, man, fuck this shit, dude.
Yeah, it gets old.
It does. That's the only thing is like, I mean, like I said, I love my helmet, and I've got Swordens on mine, and like it's comfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's just like it's so heavy,
bitch neck,
and it's so light. Really,
right,
that's what's neck. So bad.
Yeah, it's like, all fake.
If I compare it to my ACH, it's light. If I compare it to the old steel pot from World War II, bro, it's light. But
what's up, zombie?
It's still just fucking.
Yeah,
I feel like it just kills you.
So real quick to go back to your YouTube. So you want to make from what I've heard, you want to make a channel you can come to, be about airsoft and even real world, but get those questions you look for but never got an answer for. You want to be able to provide those answers for people who can't find those answers.
Yeah, I want to, because in airsoft there's like two realms of airsoft, right? There's the kind of the cosplay aspect, which people look at my impressionist kid of whatever, fill in the blank, and then there's the actual competition aspect of it, where we're trying to shoot each other, get kills, and capture objectives.
Right.
I favor the competition aspect, and that's why I push the tactics and everything. There's no disrespect to the guys who want to do their thing. This sport is not big enough for us to create some big divide where it's like these people suck and these people are doing it the right way. It's too small a sport for us to create division. It's just not going to work. So I always say all airsoft is good airsoft. Like Speed QB, not really my jam, but you know what? All airsoft is good airsoft as long as you play safe and legal.
Right.
Cool.
Right. And there's probably a lot of shit that MILSIMers could pick up on indoor players for a CQB stance. Like these guys do it all the time. They probably got some insight on some stuff that you could use.
And that goes vice versa.
Yeah.
There's I try to do critiques of videos and stuff. And some professional team from Hong Kong sent me a video of them doing a CQB run. And they use like high kappa pistols. That's it. No long guns. And, it's fucking crazy watching these guys play. They showed me like a 2.5 minute clip. That's all they sent me. And clearly it was a clip where everything went fine. So they looked amazing. But I was watching it and it's like, okay, this is so far removed from what I do professionally that I have a hard time critiquing it.
Right,
like you guys have shaved it down to like the bare bones of maximizing use of cover. That's why you're using pistols, all speed, running, checking corners. I mean, they're doing pre-firing like damn near every corner. And I'm like, I know why you're doing it. You're doing it because it's effective.
Right.
So the way you guys play is purely based on, does it work? Is it effective? And it is. It's incredibly effective. It's absolutely reckless in a real world term, in a real world concept of, hey, we're responsible for every shot we fire and we can't like shoot people who don't need to be shot.
Right.
It's a no-go. It's entirely reckless. But they're not in that realm. They're playing in the airsoft realm where they're just doing what is most effective. And once again, it's separated so far from the real world. I have a hard time even critiquing it.
Right.
But it's developed in this world of high competition. It works. It's like the UFC.
Right.
You know what I mean? What works.
Yeah.
And so I step back and look at it kind of objectively, and I'm like, this is some high speed, excellent shit you guys are doing. Right. I just have a hard time. It's an evolution, and I have a hard time critiquing it.
Right. Well, we were talking about that too with the guys when we were up. We were actually up in Rhode Island here last weekend for EA Fest. Shout out Extreme Airsoft, and it was an awesome time. But they have indoor. You know, we were talking with the Speed QB guys and how, like, you know, it's okay for people to break away from that real world mindset of airsoft gameplay, because it is a sport or a hobby, whatever you want to call it. And for so long, airsoft has been approached as a MILSIM style, like, yo, we need to play this as a real style. We need to approach everything as if it was real, some type of training. And now you're starting to find that people are really leaning into this whole, like, yo, I play airsoft because I'm going to have fun and I'm going to relax and get away from stuff. And then now you're getting that speed QB style play. And that was what our discussion was about, was like, yo, this shit probably wouldn't work in real world. Like, if it did, I mean, it would just be because it threw people off so much that they weren't expecting it. But so quickly on some of these things would you get just gunned down immediately. But it's okay because it's airsoft. It's not real world. And I think that's where a lot of, like, the old airsoft heads have a hard time kind of tying that in, because it's been this way for so long that now we're seeing this new age of what airsoft is starting to come in. And being an airsoft kind of right around the same time as you have, I've seen things come into airsoft and leave, I mean, shortly. Like, you know what I mean? There's always these little phases that they come in, seems like it's going to be a thing, and then they dip off and you never see them again. It just kind of goes back the way it was. But this seems to be sticking around.
Well, I mean, sports evolve.
Right.
Especially healthy sports evolve. And to sit back and go, well, that's not real airsoft, and that's not, you know, I'm going to stick to the true airsoft. I think that's kind of closed-minded.
Right.
You know, things change, and you either roll with the change or you become a dinosaur.
That's right.
And there's still, you know, I prefer MILSIM. There's still plenty of avenues for me to enjoy playing airsoft the way I want to play it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If I went to some of these, like, really super CQB fields where guys are shooting 30 rounds a second with a semi-auto trigger, you know,
right.
I mean, I'd get my ass kicked. I'm like, it's probably not my idea of a good time, but that's all right. It's, you know, I'll go do the stuff I do enjoy.
Yeah, dude.
I might be able to show them some things that would make them better players as far as using cover and, you know, angles and pushing objectives. But
do you think an airsofter can become like, okay, so I don't know, if video gamers, right? You put about 10,000 hours into a game, you're considered top tier, right? So do you think by a new person never being taught a damn thing could go 5 or 10 years playing airsoft and then be at a state where they're comfortable teaching new players?
Yeah.
Do you think they naturally will just learn
skill,
everything?
It's a sport. I mean, I guess it depends a lot on the individual and whether or not they're willing to be critical enough of their own performance to say, what I do wrong there, what am I going to learn from that mistake, what can I do better, you know, really put themselves in uncomfortable positions and try to learn.
Right. Well, and on top of that, surround themselves with people that will actually be honest with them too, because a lot of times if somebody like myself, I'm a very critical person, self-criticize, you know, like I always try to find ways to improve or get better. But I found that a lot of the times it's actually harder to find people who actually just tell you the real truth.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I said what I said.
I just want truth.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said, because, you know, you can get this bloated mind that I'm Mr. Know-It-All. Then you have a bunch of people, then you're just going and kind of ruining the game for everybody else. You know?
You know, brother, when I first started playing airsoft, I had a large, quite a bit of real world tactical background.
Right.
Didn't know fuck all about airsoft.
Right.
In fact, my first game, it took 2 games for me to figure out how the hop up worked. And that was because someone came up to me and said, "Hey, brother, turn your hop up on." And what the fuck's a hop up? Oh, okay. And okay, now I got range. This is great. But I mean, I learned a ton of stuff from, I would see who the best players were, and I would follow them and try to model their behavior. And I got a lot better just modeling guys. And they didn't have, most of them, real world backgrounds. They weren't military guys. They were just guys who've been playing airsoft a while. And you got to respect the guys who are good at it because they know their stuff. And then I took what they taught me about that, kind of combined it with what I kind of knew, and tried some new stuff, and was very successful. Hasn't been as much successful as anybody else, I suppose, who puts enough time into it.
Right. But sorry, fuck. Oh God. No, I do. I feel bad. Like, sorry, man. Go ahead.
That's because you gotta like not try to swallow it next time. Tell him to shoot it on the floor. Tell him to shoot it on the floor, not on the throat.
Okay. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck.
Get it?
I just wanted like someone to throat punch me. Will you throat punch me?
I will 100% throat punch you.
I know you would. That's a bad question. Never mind.
I
feel like I'm ruining this for everybody.
The chat wants to see it.
I'm ruining this for everybody though. It pisses me off. Because it only flares up when I'm down here doing this.
I know. I feel like now we should all just wait.
No,
him.
I'll get up and leave. Again, I don't care. I don't want to be disrespectful, you know? It's probably
I don't know. I've been teaching a lot lately, and I have allergies. And I'm on the better end of my allergies now, but like a month ago, they were really bad, and I would cough and sneeze in the class, and everybody would look at me, and I'm like, it's allergies.
Right, exactly. So fuck off, you COVID.
That's what he has.
It's September. It's allergies.
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly. He's got upper respiratory infection. Like, I'm not even worried about it.
Oh, it's just irritating. It's the driest coughs, dude. Just terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, man, you know what? I'm just gonna leave. I was better not here.
I love it. But no, dude, I think it's really cool. Like, you didn't come into it like a lot of guys in the airsoft world. Like we were talking about how there's this great divide, right, between airsoft and real world. And airsofters a lot of times feel like what happens with real world guys is they come in thinking they're hot shit, and then they show up and they get fucking ass whooped by some rental kid in a hoodie, right? And like, it's the truth. Like, until they try to realize, like, hey, some of these kids know their shit out here, and they're going to know it a little bit better than you just because they've had the time and the practice, like you were saying. But people don't really accept real world, like real steel guys in as easy either. We've kind of seen that a little bit with, like, I feel like everybody has accepted Travis Haley. Like, no matter what, everybody has just been like, oh, yeah, Travis Haley,
you're
so
badass. Used to getting the real world guys coming in being fucking assholes.
Right.
I know better than you.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is,
of course you do.
But if you turn the script and you look at Lucas Botkin, who has been trying to dip a little bit into the airsoft
T-Rex
world.
Arms.
Yeah. He's been kind of getting that whole,
holy shit,
fuck this guy, he's an asshole just coming in here acting like he knows all of his shit and he's gonna get fucking owned. And you're like,
but if you watch it,
it's weird. Like,
but if you watch it, he's like, I practice real world every day,
right,
and I was not ready for this.
Right,
I have a whole lot to learn.
Right,
well, airsoft is a recreational activity, but you got to respect the guys who are playing the game.
Yeah.
Right.
When you show up and have no background in it. Because I think if you show up thinking, well, I do a lot of real world shit and therefore I'm going to kick ass at airsoft,
right,
you're not really acknowledging the vast difference between the two. And there is a lot of difference between the two.
Yeah.
And also, like, raw gunfighting is a very small part of what SWAT is.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a whole lot of shit I do on the SWAT side that has nothing to do with airsoft. Priority of life and tactics and strategy and just the way we do things, stacking the deck in our favor.
Right.
That doesn't work like in airsoft, 10 versus 10, right?
Right.
That's what you do. Why? Because it's fair.
Right.
Put the spawns and the objectives equidistant apart so it's fair to both sides.
Right.
SWAT, we don't play fair. That's bullshit. We got
Right.
2 bad guys in a house. We're going to throw 20 in there. We're
Right.
going to use flashbangs, gas, piss off a canine, throw it in there, whatever.
Right, piss
Right.
off the
We have-
canine. Oh yeah, yeah.
We're going to do we're going to stack the deck in our favor, so victory is assured.
It's
Right.
And
guaranteed.
preferably
Right.
with zero casualties. It's not a sport.
Right.
Whereas airsoft, it's 50-50. It's a sport. That difference alone changes everything.
Right. We'll see, and that's what I think is funny is it's special weapons and tactics, not swag. Special weapons and gunfighting. Though it is very swag.
Bro,
but
a
no,
man that looked like him
that's for
busted
sure.
through a door in airsoft, I'd be like, I'm yours, daddy.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I know this is airsoft, but I get immersed too.
I'm yours,
Yeah.
Daddy. Just
Take me.
straight drop the gun and bend over, huh?
Right. Just here you go. Here's the saw. Have it. It's all you. Sorry, my sense of humor is dumb to some, so to all. I think you only laugh
For
because you
most.
know it's dumb. Yeah.
For
okay.
most.
Yeah. Thanks.
I have dark cop humor, so I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta tone it down for public.
Not here.
Yeah.
Turn that
definitely
shit up.
not here.
I would love dark humor. Like,
Dark humor's the shit.
and no,
I
I
don't
go deep Reddit dark humor. So that's like, I ain't no. Ooh, see, I almost said something I shouldn't have. Water.
Let me get this water so I can cough some more
That's
for the
right.
allergies.
Yes.
But no, like I agree. Once you throw, equal opportunity at both teams, you're right. It's absolutely not fair. It's not fair, like, because SEALs don't do the same thing either. Like, they're not going to go out there and do, there's 10 guys, let's send 10 guys because that's the way we should go with it. Like, no. If anybody thinks that any military or SWAT team or police force, anything really is trying to attack it as a fair fight, like, that's fucking stupid. The whole point is they want to go in and eliminate the threat or take care of it or whatever, and they want to do it as quickly as possible, efficiently, and with zero casualties. And if you can do that by an overwhelming force, that's the way it is. Like it's exactly what it is. The whole point of having a squad automatic weapon, even in your squad, which I don't know why this applies, but it does.
It doesn't.
But a squad automatic weapon is because your volume of fire is to make people on the other end think that there's actually like 30, 40 more dudes than what there actually is there, because they want you to think that it is not a fair fight.
Well, I think support guns are the biggest force multiplier in airsoft right now. If you're
Agreed.
playing semi-auto only for AEGs,
Right.
I mean, so we're doing my team. I shouldn't say my team. I mean our team. I say my, but it's not mine. It's our team. Our team is doing a competition at our local paintball airsoft place tomorrow.
Right.
And we were on a group chat, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what guns should we bring?" And I'm like, "If they're not limiting how many support guns we can use,
Bring them all.
bring them support guns and DMRs, no snipers."
Right.
That's my rule. I was like, just snipe. I love sniping, but you know what? It's really not that effective. If we're
Right.
trying to win, it's all. I don't care if we're running 4 support guns out of 6 people. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So
Hell yeah, dude. No, I agree with you 100%, especially with like you were saying, people moving more now to just semi only. Although we did get
and
something.
I love semi-auto only. I prefer it because
Yeah.
it makes the other classes relevant.
Right.
When I started, it was all full auto. Everything
Yeah,
was
of
full auto
course.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it was, what was it? Broken Home 1, I think, was the
Jesus.
first major op I went to that said semi-auto only for riflemen. And everybody's
Yeah.
like, what? All the motors are going to burn out. You're going to kill all our guns. And everybody
Right.
had all these complaints. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And I tell you what, it became a game of, one, your classes are relevant,
Right.
especially your DMRs and your support guns. It made the support gun extremely relevant.
Yeah.
And it made tactics and positioning a lot more important
Right.
because it wasn't just a question of volume. And it was awesome. It really changed the game. For me, I was like, this is awesome. This is
For sure.
what it's always meant to be.
Yeah, dude.
So I really prefer some.
Yeah, and especially at D-Day, like, positioning is really a big deal because
Yeah.
there's like, if you've never played at D-Day, that field actually has quite a bit of hills, and if you've got the high ground, obviously your your ball's going to carry a lot farther. So positioning does become actually a lot more important out there, even more so. So I enjoyed that too.
Punishing place to play.
It is. You'll be walking like we've witnessed, and some guy just disappears because he fell off a 20-foot little cliff.
Yeah,
and it's
big ankle twisting rocks everywhere.
Yes.
You can't get a radio signal more than 100 yards.
Yep.
It's a very challenging. I mean, that's a physical event.
Yeah.
So I love playing. I haven't played there in a while, but it's one of my
awesome.
favorites.
Yeah. But I want to switch this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Who was it in chat? Zombie said something about slings.
Yes.
And I had no idea.
Yes.
So talk to us about that. What is this? You or you and a couple of guys get together and like, let's make some slings.
Let me grab one. It's right next to me.
Yeah, go get it, bro. My coughing shit needs to, like, literally, I want you to just walk over here and maybe I won't get to go to work Monday. That'd be cool.
I want to know how many people in the chat actually want to see me punch Nasty in the throat. That's what I really want to know. That
Oops.
and then also we need to know, because tonight seems like you've got the Twitch chat carrying the reins here, so YouTube chat's gonna need to step it up.
Actually, it's YouTube that's winning.
I don't know, because Faded is blowing up the chat and he's carrying it for the Twitch gang.
That's true.
I mean, last night though, during the KWA fight night, was YouTube had it. I mean, they were 100% on it, but
Slings.
Well, I make slings. I started making bungee slings here a few months ago, and I was playing around with a lot of different designs. It's a 1-point sling. I make a lot of different versions of them, but the big thing is it's got this bungee here that when you wear this across your chest and the gun's pulling, instead of it pulling on your neck, hurting your neck, it that weight or that pull is absorbed by the bungee.
nice.
Bungee slings are nothing new. I didn't invent this. I was playing around with them. I was trying to make myself a good sling for work. I basically I had a whole tote full of old slings and shit, and I started cutting them up and working them out, and I put something together, and I'm like, I wonder what it would cost for me to make this. So I started making it, started showing it to my coworkers. They gave me some good criticism, some good critiques, and ultimately, after a couple months, I came up with this design, and I started selling them. So I sell them on unsavorytees.com is kind of where my merch store is at. If you go to Unsavory Tees, Unsavory Army, and there's GUNFATHER MILSIM, you can find patches and all sorts of merch and stuff and slings. I didn't get real serious about, like, I didn't even consider merch to be a thing until like 3 months ago, and I've had the channel for 5-6 years, and I'm like, maybe I should sell some patches. Someone recommended it, and they were right. And so yeah, I sell these slings, and there's two versions. Let's see, this is a Mark II because it's got 2 clips, so you can turn it into a 2-point if you want. But I prefer 1-point slings. I'm a big 1-point sling fan.
Amen.
Right.
So that's what I use at work for pretty much everything. With a precision rifle or a DMR, I'll use a 2-point. That's the only time I'll use a 2-point is with a DMR.
I used to be a big 1-point until I got hit in the dick too many times, and then I was like, you know what, 2-point's cool.
Yeah. There's that. 2-points are more for when you're actually fighting with the gun. The 1-point is superior.
Yeah,
it's just handy. It's best for fighting with. When you're doing other stuff like climbing over a fence or just walking a long distance, you want to support the weight up higher in your chest. The 2-point is the better way to go.
Right.
And 3 points are deader than disco, so it's not even talked about.
Yeah.
Wait, we had 3 points? I don't even remember that.
It was the dumbest
3-point was a
thing.
big deal years ago. That was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember like 3 points were kind of on their way out a little bit when we first started. They were so popular, but 1 points were like the rage because it was like this newfound glory of slings. And
well, it also depends on how you
run
your 1-point, like super loose, which is dumb in my eyes, or you weave it through your gear so it's always consistently down your body. It's however you want to run it. But
Yeah, I'm a big 1-point sling guy, and I've seen, I spent a lot of money in my career on just pissing away on slings. I've spent, $90, $100 on 1-point slings.
Right.
And, I sell these for I think it's 35 and 40 is the price of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
You know, I
bad
was
at all.
like, well, I can get a better sling. I'm like, yeah, you know, you probably can, but it
Yeah.
costs you $90.
Exactly.
So, or you can buy this one for 35, and it's high end materials. I do a lot of tactical rappelling,
Mhm.
and we use tubular nylon webbing. I use the same tubular nylon webbing in these. It's got a rounded edge, so it doesn't have that sharp edge you usually have on tactical webbing.
Right.
That's going to dig into your skin. So it's more like a fire hose. Think about it that way.
Huh.
But yeah, these things. So
I
it's
might
more
have to.
comfortable because it has that rolled edge.
Right.
That actually is kind of
So,
saucy. I'm that saving the page kind of thing.
So
Yeah,
it's my. I like them. It's my answer to them. Is it going to be the perfect sling for you? Maybe not.
Right.
Because people are like, oh, this is better. I prefer this. Buy it.
Good. Have
Yeah.
at it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
exactly.
Like
100%. Not this one thing may not work for everybody, but it might be the one that works for you. Like, I will say though, you did put up this clip on Instagram, and I was watching it, and it was where you basically supported the rifle with a 1-point, and it blew my mind, which was, it seems
brother.
so simple. It seems so simple watching it now. Like, I was like, wow. Let's see. I'm just
Okay,
showing everybody this here.
I did not invent that. Okay, so I literally saw it maybe 30 minutes before I made a video on some other guy's channel about, hey, this is how you use a 1-point, cool ways to use a 1-point. And here I've been doing this shit a
Right.
long time, and I've never seen it. And I'm like,
this is my first time.
holy shit.
Right.
That's genius.
Dude, it's so
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, it's like, huh. And one of the guys on my team was talking about why he thinks the 2-point is better because he wants to hold it close to his chest. And I was like, hey, and I just sent it as a message to him real quick. I'm like, hey, check this out, Trey. And
That's
pretty
game
cool,
over.
huh?
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
thought,
dude.
well, fuck, I'll throw it on Instagram. Yeah, it's neat. The guy had some other stuff too where he did something similar and mounted it on his back. I've tried that several times and I couldn't get it to work the same way he did. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's a neat trick.
Yeah,
So-
dude. I was like, holy shit. I never would have thought of
No,
that. Like,
never would have
just
put that
yeah,
together
that
here.
fucking simple. And it, like, part of me on the inside, kind of like you were saying, when you're walking, you want it to kind of be up and out of the way, and that does it exactly. So
Right.
part of me was like, damn, maybe going back
Yeah.
to 1-point's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
There was some other neat things on there about you could do the same thing. You know, you run it inside the magazine well, and that'll tighten it up around your back. So when you press out, you can lock down to be more accurate when shooting real steel.
Right.
I'm actually going to play with that on the range next week.
Well,
we'll
Zombie
see.
13 in chat is pretty urgent about trying to get me to buy one because it sounds like he has one and he's in love with it. So,
Yes.
Yeah, I just sent that one to him last week. We were chatting about it.
well,
Oh, yeah.
shout out for the free shit because hey, if he likes it and if he's recommending it,
Let's see,
I'll shit,
dude,
I'll buy
like,
one.
Also, by the way, if you guys aren't, make sure you go
Yeah,
father.
go do it.
Go follow.
Father? Yeah, go father.
Go
the
father Gunfather.
Yeah.
Go follow Gunfather on Instagram. Looks like you just got some
Faded.
t-shirts out and stuff. But yeah, dude, lots of good stuff. Lots of different colors on these slings as well. I see red,
yeah, that's
blue,
dope.
tan, black. So
For you speed boys can have your red
exactly.
and blue.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's why I got the red and blue. I'm like, who's going to buy these? And what the hell, red and blue.
Hell
So,
Faded out here still running them 4 points. It's weird, dude.
well, it's off camera. You can't see it, but my workbench is right over here, and I just have piles of different colors of nylon. So
Hell yeah.
tubular nylon. Yeah, so I got all sorts of stuff.
So you literally build them by order, or do you just have
Yeah.
5 or 6 already built, ready to go?
Well, let's see here. This is about, I don't know, a third of what I have ready to go.
Okay.
The bungee is the part that is the most effort to build.
Right.
And I got about 10 of those ready to go, and then I just add whatever color nylon
Nice.
you want.
There
So,
you guys go.
Yeah,
You should go buy one for sure.
yeah. I got quite a bit of, the first kind of 2 months I did it, every dollar I made, I threw back into getting more inventory,
Right.
getting more, parts together, and the clips are pretty expensive, but whatever. Once you get enough parts kind of sitting at home, then I can pretty much fill any order I get.
Sweet.
Right. Hell
But
yeah.
if somebody wanted like, let's say they wanted a pink sling for whatever reason, if they're willing to, I'll buy the nylon.
Right.
They're going to have to wait about, a week and a half for me to get the nylon in, but I'll or the tubular webbing, I'll order 10 feet of it and make you a sling.
Hell
See,
yeah.
people, with anything in life. Sometimes we do live in a world where it's like, oh, I want it now and you can have it tomorrow. But sometimes when handcrafted shit's being built, you might have to wait. Get the fuck over yourself. I'm tired of all the bitching online about that shit. Dude, I'm telling you, my sick ass is feeling it right now, dude. I am, dude. I'm tired of the people bitching about, well, like, let's say, GUNFATHER built something badass, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to wait 2 weeks for it. You're not, so you buy it and you're like, man, my fucking pussy hurts. It's like, what? You knew you were buying a one-off thing. Like, calm down, dude.
True.
Sorry. It's just, you hate to see it.
It's been pretty positive. Most of the reviews of them are positive. I've had, there's always those, the internet's full of
Assholes.
those folks.
Yeah.
Right. The trolls that just come out, well, this guy's already made a sling that's the exact same thing and blah, 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 blah. I've never heard of this guy before in my life. And I look at my blog, I'm like,
right,
brother, that sling cost $90.
right.
This one's $40.
You keyboard warrior,
Right.
keep at it.
Right.
Like,
So I'm like, hey, if you want to spend that, go right ahead, brother.
That's the thing, right? Is like realistically nowadays, how much more fucking innovative do you want when something as simple as a rope will work to hold your weapon to your body? Like, I feel like we are at the pinnacle of what slings look like, honestly, nowadays.
Your dad has 500 foot of extension cable in the garage. Chop that bitch up. You have a sling. Like,
Exactly.
Really.
Like,
so fuck yourself.
So, like, realistically, if somebody's offering something that has what you're looking for, uses the same materials, and is a little bit cheaper, the manufacturing level most likely is probably going to be higher, in my opinion, typically, because you've got one guy who's doing the same work on all things and also doing his own fucking quality checks amongst his own work, not a massive warehouse of, these 5 dudes do the sewing, these 5 dudes do the clip.
To be clear, I have a good job. I get paid well, not amazing, but well. That was my phone. And I'm not making my millions selling slings. Okay,
Right.
This is beer money at best. Oh, somebody's blowing my phone up. But so I mean, I don't know. It's weird. You do a YouTube channel. You build a follower base. You build a kind of a channel you're proud of, some content you're proud of, and then you start selling patches, and all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork. Oh, that's kind of fucked up. You're trying to profit off your channel. Well, yeah. I've put a lot of hours and work into this, and maybe I should make a little bit of money off it, because there's no money in YouTube. There's no money in YouTube as far as watches go. I think I've made $100 over the history of my channel, which is nothing.
Right.
So yeah, I want to sell some patches and some t-shirts and some slings, and I'm not going to jump on, like most people just jump on Patreon and just send me money if you like my channel.
Right.
I want to actually give you something.
Right.
So, and I've had people actually just send me like, hey, here's $50 because I like your channel. They bought a patch. It was like $8 and they sent me like 60. They said, keep the change. I love your channel. Put it towards new stuff. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See, we were kind of the same way, except like, so we did the Patreon thing, but
you get something when you give.
Every month we send out, I mean, at least we're sending out stickers that we get, which I still need to send out our stickers this month. But like, we tried to make sure that we're giving back, because at the same time, you're still giving us some of your hard earned money just to come towards something you enjoy watching, and which, I mean, we really fucking appreciate it, because that's awesome. But like, even more so now, it's like, hey, if you really want to support us, I love it if you get something tangible. So like the website,
worth your money.
Exactly. taskforcepodcast.com. Now we're putting that stuff on there, and that's kind of the direction we're going, trying to get some stuff going on there. And I never understand why anybody really gets mad about you wanting to try to take what you're doing that you love as a hobby, right? If you could take your hobby and turn it into what you did for a livelihood, I would never ever once tell somebody that I think that's messed
Right.
up, that you would try to make money off of it, because realistically, you probably have some fucking hobby that you love doing. And in my opinion, you should try to make money off of that. You should try to turn it into something that you literally could do this every day of your life, and it was your living.
Instead of going somewhere for 9 hours hating your life.
Exactly.
Right. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to make a little side money on something you enjoy when you're producing content for people, because you know what? Producing content on a YouTube level, I mean, let's be honest, we're not Instagram models, right?
No.
So this takes effort.
Well,
this
nasty
takes
might
time.
be a little bit, but yeah.
but this takes, it takes time and effort into putting together content.
Right. Yeah.
And it's time I could be sitting around, playing video games or watching TV or hanging out with my
Literally
kids or whatever.
anything fucking
Right.
else.
Right, exactly. And God forbid I want to make a little bit of money doing it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that. But, it's all the people that complain, you jump over them to what they're from, and it's
Right.
okay.
Because you give them the same opportunity, they'd be all over it.
Yeah.
So fuck
Right.
the fuck boys. Okay.
But there's girls taking pictures of God knows what, and making tens of thousands of dollars a month,
Bro.
on the gram.
you want to see my snatch?
Here I am actually making something and producing some content.
Right.
Right.
But
If somebody had told me at the beginning of this year that if I took care of my feet and then just covered them in peanut butter, that I could make so much money, better damn well bet that I would be taking my ass to some place to get a fucking pedicure or whatever the fuck it is on my feet and take
Literally would disown
and
you as a
jars
father.
of peanut butter. You could disown me. That's cool. I'll be making $60K a month just putting peanut butter on my
fair.
feet, bro.
That's fair.
Like,
But at the same time, wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't. What? Why would I give it to you?
I mean, it'd be on the internet.
You wouldn't pay me for it.
I wouldn't.
Right.
Matter of fact, if I knew you did that, I'd probably kill you and your family, because that'd be terrible.
so YouTube and social media is kind of a weird world. Obviously, I look at what my kids watch. My kids are 7 and 9.
Yeah.
And I look at the YouTube videos they watch, and they watch videos of kids playing with toys and doing a review of the toy. And these channels,
I have
which have
9-year-olds and they do the same thing. It's so
Right.
weird.
the production value is shit.
Right.
But it is literally, these kids have millions of followers, and all their parents do is go to Target, grab some shit off the shelves, come back, here kids play with these. So they're out a couple $100. They
Right.
set up the camera, they film it, throw it on YouTube, and they're making tens of thousands of dollars a month
easy.
off their kids playing with toys.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
You label it a business, and that $100 gets written off anyway as expenses. Like,
right.
Just give it to
Right.
the charity,
Like,
your own
it's
charity, and
fucking
no
crazy.
taxes. So
Like,
you're like, fuck it.
You know,
it is
but I sell
crazy.
3 slings and I'm excited. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We sell a
It's a beer.
t-shirt and we're fucking drinking tonight.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, dude. Like it's crazy to me the way the world has shifted and the things like I could think back to 9-year-old me, and I would look at my kids and I'd be like, why the fuck are you watching them play with a toy? Like, let's just go play with some toys. Like,
Right.
the world has shifted and changed so much
Yeah, dude.
to where watching a kid do kid stuff is what kids want to do, not just do it themselves.
Right. Oh, my kids watch videos of kids playing video games that they own. I'm like, why are you watching a kid play Roblox when you can jump on the Xbox and play Roblox?
Because I'm not
Who
as
gives a
good as
shit?
them, Dad.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's just like,
My
okay.
God.
Right, like
Whatever.
Ruin the vibe, Dad. Like, dude,
animal social media accounts make hella bank too.
they do, bro.
What's an animal social
Hey,
media
like
account?
you go take those 17 rats that run around the backyard, you start taking cute pictures of them on Instagram, 2 million followers by the next week.
Really?
Cash money.
All right. So there's no money in Airsoft YouTube. There's
No.
not.
No, but you put
I
your
should
fucking
be
horse
running to Target
online.
right now and buying toys.
You should.
I should be putting my son on Twitch when he plays, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how parents win.
Yeah.
It really is.
Your kids are your cash cows. It used to be that kids cost you money. Now kids can make you
Yeah,
more money.
but you
got to
hit it at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. This
But-
is true. Let's see here. Faded said, also, how does that work? If an animal Instagram is making money, does the owner have to pay the taxes in the dog's name?
No,
I don't even know,
because you
bro.
start your own charity for that dog. You make all the money, you put it towards that charity. Now it's tax free, and you keep all your money. Literally how it works. I just broke the code for everybody on live. Like, it's not. Start your own foundation. Okay, let's say my man over here, father, makes $1,000 and doesn't want to be taxed on it.
Mm-hmm.
You throw it into a charity. Save the cats in Africa or some shit. Okay? I put it in there, but he has the means to go to that account. The government doesn't tax it because it's, charity. So he can send $5 to Africa.
I just want to throw this out there. Nasty is definitely not a part of any legal team and is definitely spewing stuff that will definitely get you into like some tax evasion.
It takes 5
FBI.
minutes to search Google and figure this out on your own.
Like literally, if you take Nasty's advice, my man's gunfather will be knocking on your door with a SWAT team.
You guys just call me Rob. I don't go. Just call me Rob.
Rob.
Okay.
Rob.
Yeah.
I I live in Kansas, so, bruh. But it's,
yeah,
I mean,
my jurisdiction ends at the state border of Nebraska, so.
Oh, really? You're in Nebraska? That's wild.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, I'm up in Omaha.
I'm sorry.
You guys at all.
That sucks.
Damn. Omaha's
What's
not
wrong with
terrible.
Omaha?
It's not terrible.
It's better than here. I don't know.
like-
I'm just reading chat.
Nasty's never been in Omaha. It's like comparable to Wichita, I feel like.
Oh, just not as probably as shitty as Wichita.
It's a small big city.
Small big city. Okay.
I don't know about not as shitty as Wichita.
Yes, Ariel, I'm telling people how to embezzle money. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm sorry.
But no, dude, it was really cool having you on here. You're a wealth of fucking knowledge.
You are.
And again, if you guys here, I'm going to show it again. If you guys are not following GUNFATHER or subscribe to him on YouTube, make sure you go do it. It looks like he's putting out some fire content. Lots of little interesting things that you can get some inside real world perspective on. And just also talking some truth, like toxicity is killing our sport.
That's facts.
100%. I don't even have to click the video now. I can tell you that video is gold.
But click it so he gets the view.
Right.
But we all know that's facts.
Exactly. And again, if you're not following him on Instagram, make sure you go there and do it as well. So it was really cool having you on here, man.
Sorry for the coughing. I feel bad for it.
Oh, no worries.
Dude.
Thanks for having me. It's been a good time. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, dude. Thank you very much. And thanks for reaching out to us.
Yeah.
I love it when people do it because we always put out there like, hey, if you want to be on the show, all you got to do is reach out to us. And this is a perfect example. Like,
Yeah,
we
even if
didn't
you
know
were
who you were.
recommended.
We didn't know who you were, and now we know who you are. So, I mean, we've got to hit that subscribe button. And now I feel like I know you, and we're following you. Like, now I feel like 100% I can get behind what you're putting
That's
out
the
there.
truth, though, because
It
I've
is.
met the man.
Right.
I see his face. Now, when I see his content, I'm not like, oh, he's just another cop.
Right.
Who's throwing up some shit.
Right.
You know? No, that's honesty, though. That's real. But hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been a good time.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So, but well, we don't have anything else going on this week. Finally, actually,
Finally,
chill,
a whole
chill
week.
full
Yeah,
week.
no shit.
Saturday, of course, we got another episode, 7:30 Central. And as always, of course, like we said before, if you guys want to help support the show, you can go to taskforcepodcast.com or you can sign up on the Patreon. Either way, just hit the subscribe or the follow button
Or
on
a
Twitch.
like.
Yeah, or a like
comment.
button, comment.
Just like what he needs,
I don't
we
know.
all need. Just
By the
do
way,
it.
also at the beginning of the show, I saw some stuff about notifications. You won't get notifications that the show is live unless you hit the little bell. So hit the little bell, and then you'll get the notifications whenever we drop a video or anything. Also, pictures and video from EA Fest will be coming shortly. I've just been out of town for a week working in Kansas City, so I just got home. So
that is real.
But again, we love you guys. Thank you for joining the show tonight, and we will see you guys next
All the
Saturday.
coughs.